It occurred to me today that if I could get 3 corporations up and running and make a run for the President of the United States in 2024, that I could maybe become a famous person. I'd rather go fishing. Now, here's what we've got going on with Dave Campbell, yours truly. I am fed up with oppression. I'm fed up with people who want to make money hand over fist and do not care about other people, especially in the United States of America, where we have had so much abundance. In my lifetime, I'm 58, and I grew up in a world where we had abundance of jobs, we had abundance of food, we had abundance of music. I mean, the 80s and 70s, 80s, and 90s, great music. I want people to have the experience that I had when I grew up. I want people to be able to enjoy that kind of freedom and liberty and fun with friends and fun with family. Over these last 15 years, a dark feeling, an oppressive feeling has come over this country. And it's not just me. And that has to do with leadership. And I've narrowed it down to corruption. And I found out it's called kleptocracy. It's a network of scheming bastards who are much like in Braveheart, which is my favorite movie, by the way. You have an evil king and you have a bunch of nobles. And they're essentially a bunch of pricks who got bought. And, you know, they have skill sets in leadership, and they did own some lands, but the king enriches them more and more, so they carry out his dirty deeds. And that is not the United States of America. That's what we have going on right now with this EV shareholder value economy. The SOX Act, perpetrated by ITIL masterminds. I'm not going to go deep into my conspiracy theory on that, but it's pretty obvious that, you know, we don't have an infrastructure for electric cars, and bad people are killing kids in the mines to get minerals and gases and such to manufacture batteries and technology items that are markets that are not regenerative. They're not markets that serve the needs of the people. They serve, that market is serving more of a get-rich-quick bubble. And, you know, you can say, well, Dave, that's your opinion. Yeah, it's kind of the facts, and it's more than that, it's very obvious. That economy, that fraudulent economy, is feeding on the gross domestic product economy. And the gross domestic product economy is the one that I grew up in, where people bought items from corporations that were interested in serving the needs of the market, not serving the needs of a shareholder. Value fixation. So these shareholders have their eyes on monthly numbers, and those monthly numbers they are equating with wealth, and so they're turning up all of these methods to get those numbers to go up. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter to them what they do, how they do it. and they're destroying the country doing it. So that's not good. What I'm doing is, with a cash initiative, I started a website, a blog, and I've put a myriad of projects on there, and I'm going to be introducing more that essentially is going to transfer the power back into the hands of the people to get our GDP economy built back up. There's two ways we're going to do that. We're going to start our own companies, and we're also going to introduce and draft our own bills. So I'm 5 minutes and 45 seconds into this, but those are the two main things that I'm introducing to society as a leader. And they're not new things, but obviously, but they're emphasized in my leadership. So personal freedom, the power to ask questions, the freedom to ask questions, the freedom to build ethical business models, and to build and craft your own ethical bills that then go through, the legislative process for approval. So we're giving our citizens an opportunity to exercise freedom and creativity. So that's the cash initiative. The other two items that I'm bringing, two websites, are Regeneration Model. And if you like to think about things like truth and how we came up with expressions from gazing at stars, and you want to get more information about astrology, I'm not an astrologer or a tarot reader, but what I found in 2020 when I started to really look at tarot for the first time and astrology is that that's a common discipline that isn't really, there's no demographic that really doesn't practice it, and no country that doesn't have astrology and tarot readers. And it's derived from the stargazers. So stargazers precede all form of human expression. When they started writing on the walls and measuring things, and then the discipline of astrology came along. And then I think of even the three kings of Orient. That's three points on a map will give you orientation. So, Jesus' Christmas presents were probably wrapped in astrology charts. That's just how I think. So there's some merit in those old expressions that turned into languages and laws. I can't see how anybody can disagree with that. So by putting forward a common truth and striving for common global law, that gives people another footing for putting down the misuse of public resources and the misuse of taxes. And it also gives us a global organization that can provide checks and balances to, sovereign organizations that aren't so sovereign anymore, that are abused by criminals and oligarchs. Okay, last one is Michigan Knowledge Exchange, and that's for high ticket manufacturing and investment. And that is a business model where we're going to control from A to Z a phase 2 lead user type product. Find the lead users, find the market, find the buyers, do a complete process of introducing it into a brand-centric corporation that can test the product and get real-time data back for big-time decisions, spin-offs, or starting a whole new manufacturing investment. Nobody is doing anything like that. There's different organizations that are doing bits and pieces of that, but we're going to do A to Z that, what I just described. Well, Dave, it's not done that way. Well, yeah, that's why it's failing. Manufacturing investment fails at 90%, at a rate of 90%. So, big ticket items. That's going to happen in Michigan. So, I don't know what the world is waiting for. You don't have anybody talking about leadership like I'm talking about it. So, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to keep ramping up my message, and you're eventually going to come along and play along, because I don't think there's anybody in the world that's got a better message than I do. And I'm sorry, ass clowns like Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, who are just hyping tech, AI and IT economy for the sake of driving a digital numeric fixation, making a billionaire nobility that's bearing down on my gross domestic product economy. I don't think they're friends of any country in particular. I think they're being used as iconic figureheads by some really bad guys, who we're going to find out who those people are, whether it's JP Morgan Chase or whether it's any of these other big typical AIG, whoever these people are. We're going to find out who they are and who's driving all this nonsense. So that's our job. We are the people, baby. So that's a wrap. Have a good day.